welcome back. So it's that time of year, when we all start making resolutions for the beginning of the year. And I thought I'd do some reading resolutions, the things that I plan on doing maybe slightly differently for the coming year and things I need to kind of accomplish. So my first one is to read more sequels. I have so many series started, like just about all of us. I mean, everything seems to come out as a trilogy. There's very few standalones, and I've got so many of them going that I either need to progress further in them or complete them if they're the last book. And I'll give you a couple examples of them. I have Michael Grant's Fear. This is like book 5 in the Gone series. And I believe Light is coming out, I think it's this year. And yeah, I've been sitting on this one probably because it's just so huge. And but I want to find out what's going on before I start to lose the whole storyline. I mean, it's just been too long. So I need to get going on this one. Also, The Kill Order by James Dashner. This is actually a prequel to the Maze Runner series. It's gotten some bad reviews. People kind of disappointed in it. So I think because of that, I've kind of kept pushing it aside. But this sort of explains what happened to the world and what resulted and what led into the whole Maze Runner series. So kind of curious to see what happened in that. And I just really need to get going on it and complete that series. Quite some time ago, I read the book I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lore, and this is The Power of 6, Book 2. I also have The Rise of 9 in my shelves downstairs, so I have 2 books to follow up in this series, and I just need to, like I said, get moving along on that. This is the debut book by Lish McBride. It was Hold Me Closer, Necromancer. This is book 2 in the series, Necromancing the Stone. I absolutely loved the first book. It was a debut book by that author, and a lot of snarky humor about a boy who kind of comes to discover that he's a necromancer and all the craziness that happens to him after that. And I really, really enjoyed it. This is one of those books that they did a cover change. I love the new cover. I think it's awesome. But now, of course, it doesn't match what I had on my shelves. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into this one. Really, really great storyline. Another cover change that they did is the book by Ilsa J. Bick in the Ashes trilogy. This is book 2 called Shadows. Ashes was the first book, but follows a girl named Alex who's kind of out in the woods. She's like saying goodbye to her parents, about to sprinkle their ashes in the woods, and kind of coming to terms with her own mortality. She has a brain tumor, and all of a sudden an electromagnetic pulse strikes the earth, and it has devastating, almost apocalyptic effects. Most of the population is devastated. Some people survive, some people are very drastically changed, and Alex undergoes some interesting changes too. But it's a really good storyline, and kind of want to find out what happened to some of the characters that we lost in the first half of that book. It's sort of like it detoured and went 2 different directions, and we never found out, that part of the storyline. So I'm hoping it'll tie up some of those loose ends. And again, another fairly big book, so probably one of the reasons I haven't jumped right into it. But I am looking forward to reading it. And then also I read Croak by Gina D'Amico. This is the sequel, Scorch. I love the first book. Again, lots of snarky humor in that one. A really intriguing character in the form of Lex, who discovers she's a Grim Reaper and has quite some skills in that department. Love the cover here. Sorry about the reflection, but it's awesome. And I really, really enjoyed the first book, and I just need to jump into this and continue the series and find out what happened. The first book kind of took a darker turn near the end, and I want to see if that kind of continues, or just to see what happens. And one of the last ones, I'm sure I have still more down below, but these are just some of the examples I picked. This one will complete the duology if I read it, and it's the sequel to Anna Dressed in Blood. It's Kendar Blake's Girl of Nightmares, and I absolutely love the first book about a girl named Anna. She's a ghost. She was murdered, and she still walks around in the white dress kind of covered in blood that she was killed in. And anyone who enters her home is immediately killed, except for Kaz, who's actually a ghost hunter who goes there to dispatch her spirit and ends up not being killed by her. And yeah, I don't want to say too much in case you haven't read it, but really, really intriguing book. Love the characters, and I want to find out what happens and complete this series. So that's my first goal, like I said, is to complete, or at least continue with some of these sequels. My next goal is to read more classics. It's been quite some time since I've read it. I've kind of been really into the YA books this year, so I need to kind of expand my reading horizons a little, a few more adult books. And some of the classics I would like to read is definitely Jane Eyre, by Charlotte Bronte. I picked up this, this is a Penguin Classic Deluxe Edition. I just love these covers. And my intrigue for Jane Eyre kind of developed from the Jasper Fforde books, because the character does pop in there every once in a while. Also, I have a copy of Wuthering Heights. I wanted to read that for some time. And we'll see what else, pops up, but I have these on my shelves. I also have a copy of Dracula in this series, which I have already read, but definitely want to at least get to these two. I want to catch up on some of my review copies. I don't get them directly from the publisher, so it's not like they're sort of expecting me to do reviews, you might say. I get them through work. They come in, just for the booksellers to read and kind of get an idea and suggest to their customers. But I do have several that I want to kind of get into, and I can kind of see them on this shelf up here. At least through here are review copies. And, I really need to get on the ball on that one. Just so many books, so little time, as the saying goes, My other goal is to increase my Goodreads reading challenge. This year I picked a goal of 50, which was actually double of what I read the year before. So I thought for 2013, since I did actually read 79 books, kind of just squeak that in, maybe I'll just set a goal of 80 and see if I can reach that point again. I think I just really read like almost nonstop. So I don't know if I'll actually reach that, but figure I'll at least set a higher goal instead of just blowing one out of the water. Another major reading resolution I'd like to do is read some of these ebooks. I've been hauling a lot of ebooks. You've seen some of them on my channel. I probably have over 400, most of them free, ebooks on my Kindle, and probably another 20 or more on my Nook. So it's time to start reading some of these. I know the physical books kind of just draw you in, and you kind of forget that little e-device, sitting on your shelves. But maybe I'll just do random picks and just kind of close my eyes and say, okay, I'm reading this one, and just dive in that way. Because sometimes there's so many, it's hard to choose one, Standing in front of like a whole bookshelf of books, which one do I read next? It's sort of that kind of situation. Same thing with the ebooks. So definitely need to get on the ball and start reading some of them. Maybe try and read at least one a month or something. Also for not so much reading resolutions, but just a resolution in general for my channel. I definitely want to start hosting some giveaways. I'm coming up on some major milestones for this coming year. So that will be something you can look forward to, and I want to give back to you guys for giving me such enjoyment on this channel, and all your comments, your wonderful comments, and just really enjoyed this year and talking with all of you about books and everything. So that would be my way of giving back to you. So I already have a couple planned. I'm going to do like one international giveaway, and then I have sort of we'll save that for later when I discuss it. We'll keep it a surprise. So anyway, those are my kind of resolutions for 2013, and let me know if you guys have any resolutions. We'll keep our fingers crossed that we can keep all of them. And I'll see you in the coming year. Thanks for watching.